After his successful tour of Thailand, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was warmly welcomed in Colombo on Friday for a 3-day visit to Sri Lanka. Despite the rain, 6 senior Sri Lankan ministers, including Vijeta Herat and Nalinda Jayatissa, greeted him at the airport. Expressing the gratitude, PM Modi thanked the ministers and dignitaries. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka honoured PM Modi with the prestigious Mitra Vibhushana Award by Sri Lankan President Anura Kumar Dissanayake in recognition of his role in boosting bilateral ties. This is PM Modi's first visit to Sri Lanka since the election of the country's new president. During the visit, Prime Minister and Sri Lankan President held formal talks and signed 7 MOUs, including the first defence agreement. PM Modi also met the Sri Lankan leader of the opposition, Sajith Premadasa, in Colombo. On April 6, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate India's first vertical lift sea bridge in Rameshwaram. The 550 crore Pamban railway bridge will connect the island to the mainland. The event will also feature the launch of a new Rameshwaram-Chennai train and a Coast Guard ship demonstrating the bridge's operation. A day after President Trump announced an additional 34% tariff on Chinese imports, China retaliated with an equivalent 34% tariff on all US goods, condemning the US move as unilateral bullying. Beijing also sanctioned 27 American entities, which will come into effect on April 10th. Regarding US reciprocal tariffs, China has filed a formal complaint with the World Trade Organization against the United States' recent tariff increases, asserting that these measures violate WTO regulations. In retaliation, China announced a 34% tariff on US imports, intensifying the trade conflict with the President Donald Trump. US President Donald Trump on Friday issued a strong response to China's decision to impose an additional 34% tariffs on all US goods. Posting on Truth Social, Trump declared they cannot afford to do it and asserted China played it wrong. They panicked, the one thing they cannot afford to do. This exchange underscores the escalating trade tensions between the United States and China. Amid looming tariff deadlines, the United States is urgently working to finalize trade agreements with India, Vietnam and Israel, with President Trump personally leading the negotiations. According to the CNN reports, Trump stated that Vietnam proposed eliminating tariffs entirely if a mutual agreement is reached. Meanwhile, India briefly faced a 27% tariff, later corrected to 26%, raising concerns over the implementation process. US markets are in turmoil after President Trump's April 2nd reciprocal tariffs sparked fears of a global recession. Wall Street plunged for the second consecutive day, with the Dow crashing 5.5% and the S&P 500 tumbling 5.97%, erasing $6 trillion in the market value. Despite the chaos, Trump remains defiant, calling it a great time to get rich and vowing that his policies will never change. Meanwhile, China issues a sharp statement declaring the market has spoken. Amid ongoing tariff tensions with China, US President Donald Trump on Friday extended the deadline for the Chinese app TikTok by 75 days to secure a non-Chinese buyer, pushing the potential ban to June 19th. Citing national security concerns, Trump pledged to keep the application running, urged progress with China and hinted TikTok could be a part of a broader trade negotiations. Indians face yet another attack in Canada. An Indian national was fatally stabbed in Rockland near Ottawa, the Indian embassy reported on Saturday. The Indian High Commission confirmed the tragic death, stating a suspect is in custody. The embassy expressed deep sorrow and is assisting the victim's family. Investigation continues. A powerful 6.9 magnitude earthquake struck Papua New Guinea on Saturday morning, prompting a tsunami warning, which was later cancelled by the US Geological Survey. The shallow quake, at a depth of 10 kilometers, was located 194 kilometers east of Kimbe on New Britain Island. No damage was reported. Two powerful earthquakes jolted west in Nepal on Friday evening, occurring just 3 minutes apart. The first, measuring 5.2 in magnitude, struck Jajarkota at 8:07 pm, followed by a stronger 5.5 quake at 8:10 pm, both with epicenters in Panik. Tremors were felt in Surkhet, Dai Lake and Kalikot. No casualties have been reported. Authorities remain on high alert. The death toll from Myanmar's devastating March 28th earthquake has surged to 3,354, with 4,850 injured and 220 missing, state media reported on Saturday. UNAID Chief Tom Fletcher visited affected areas, lauded local humanitarian and community groups for their courageous and determined response despite their own losses. US President Donald Trump on Friday posted drone-style footage showing dozens of Houthi terrorists killed in a US strike on Yemen, adding the caption, "Oops." Trump stated that these terrorists had gathered to plan an attack. The video shows an explosion, rising smoke and a crater. He declared, "They will never sink our ships again." President Trump has fired National Security Agency Director and US Cyber Command Head General Timothy Hogg along with Deputy Wendy Noble in a sweeping purge of over a dozen national security officials. This move followed a meeting with the far-right activist Laura Loomer, who provided Trump a list of disloyal staff. A Russian ballistic missile strike targeting military-linked infrastructure in President Zelensky's hometown of Kryvyi resulted in 14 deaths and over 50 injuries on Friday. Meanwhile, Moscow says its campaign is aimed at neutralizing threats and strategic assets. Amid China's aggressive military drills near Taiwan, Taipei's top security official, Joseph Wu, arrived in the US for high-level special channel talks with President Trump's administration, the first such meeting since Trump returned to the White House. The visit follows China's action against Taiwan, which the US strongly condemned, further heightening regional tensions. Amid ceasefire talks with US President Donald Trump over Ukraine, Britain and France have now called on Russia to swiftly engage in negotiations to end the ongoing conflict. However, Russia maintains that the process must be gradual, emphasizing a careful and strategic approach to achieving lasting peace. Gary Hermish, a 66-year-old man from Oklahoma on suspicion of fatally shooting Catholic priest Errol Carcella, aged 57, outside the St. Peter and Paul Catholic Church in Seneca in Kansas. Carcella later died from gunshot wounds. Hermish faces first-degree murder charges, with authorities yet to reveal a motive or any connection between him and the priest. A fire erupted at Disneyland's resort's Pixel Palace parking structure, damaging nearly 12 vehicles. Anaheim Fire Department officials reported no injuries. Operations were temporarily halted and nearby areas were cordoned off, leading to a significant disruption. Videos captured thick black smoke, but the fire was quickly extinguished. This incident follows a recent fire at Disney World's Epcot.